In the heart of medieval Europe, a shadowy brotherhood of knights emerged, an order shrouded in mystique, power, and legend. Their name, the Knights Templar. For nearly 2 centuries, these warrior monks would carve their mark on history, wielding swords and prayers in equal measure. But how did they rise from humble beginnings to become one of the most formidable forces of the Middle Ages? Join us as we uncover the origins of the Knights Templar. The story of the Knights Templar begins with a momentous event, the First Crusade. In 1099, Christian armies, driven by faith and fervor, captured Jerusalem after a brutal campaign. For the first time in centuries, the Holy City was under Christian control. Pilgrims from all over Europe began flocking to Jerusalem to walk in the footsteps of Christ. But their journey was fraught with danger. The roads to the Holy Land were perilous, plagued by bandits and marauders. Many pilgrims never made it to their sacred destination. The call for protection grew louder, and it was in this environment of need that the Knights Templar were born. In 1119, a French knight named Hugues de Payens, along with 8 companions, answered this call. They formed a small brotherhood dedicated to protecting Christian pilgrims. Their mission was noble, yet humble, and their resources were scant. Initially, they relied on the charity of others to sustain their efforts. Their fortunes changed when Baldwin II, King of Jerusalem, granted them a headquarters on the Temple Mount. This site, believed to house the ruins of Solomon's Temple, was sacred to both Jews and Christians. The knights adopted the name, Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, or simply, the Knights Templar. Despite their noble mission, the early Templars struggled to gain recognition. But their fortunes shifted dramatically in 1129, thanks to the intervention of Bernard of Clairvaux, a powerful Cistercian monk and theologian. Bernard became the order's most fervent supporter, penning a treatise called In Praise of the New Knighthood, which lauded the Templars as the ideal Christian warriors. That same year, the Templars were officially recognized by the Church at the Council of Troyes. They adopted a strict rule of conduct modeled on the Cistercian order. Poverty, chastity, and obedience became their guiding principles, merging the piety of monks with the martial prowess of knights. The Templar rule was as rigorous as it was unique. Members of the order renounced personal wealth, swearing loyalty to the brotherhood. Their lives were governed by a detailed code that dictated everything from dietary habits to combat strategies. Meals were simple and silent, reflecting their vow of humility. When not on the battlefield, knights trained relentlessly, ensuring they were always prepared to defend the faith. This combination of monastic discipline and military focus set the Templars apart, forging a unity that would become their greatest strength. In their early years, the Templars faced immense challenges. Their small numbers and limited resources made their mission seem almost impossible. Yet, their unwavering dedication earned them the admiration of pilgrims and nobles alike. Donations began to pour in, and their ranks swelled with recruits willing to take up the sword for Christendom. By the mid-12th century, the Knights Templar had grown from a modest band of protectors into a formidable force. Their reputation as fearless warriors and devout servants of God spread far and wide. The Templars' association with the Temple Mount added an air of mystique to their order. This ancient site, revered as the location of Solomon's Temple, held deep spiritual significance. It was here that the Templars drew strength and inspiration, forging their identity as the protectors of Christendom's holiest sites. Legends would later claim that the Templars uncovered sacred relics beneath the Temple Mount, secrets that would fuel countless myths and conspiracy theories for centuries to come. From humble beginnings, the Knights Templar had laid the foundation for an empire of faith and steel. But their story was far from over. In the next chapter of our journey, we will explore their meteoric rise to power and the innovations that would make them one of the most influential organizations in history. Don't miss part 2 of our series, where we delve into the Templars' military conquests, financial ingenuity, and their golden age of influence. Until next time, keep uncovering history.